Hi there, Bailey from Knobby here. Today I'm chatting with RUOK Day Ambassador James Alexander about his planned bike ride from Adelaide to Melbourne, which the Knobby team was super keen to rally around. I'll pass over to you, James. Give us a bit of a rundown on the journey, your journey, and sort of what you've been doing with RUOK Day to kick things off for us.
Yeah, so last year after a few years of fundraising efforts for RUOK, got an email to get involved as a community ambassador, which just means basically we do public speaking at events generally around the September date. But obviously we're trying to push that it's not just that one date a year. So just normalizing those conversations and educating people on how to start the conversation and how to support people during those conversations. But to rewind a little bit further, a few years ago in 2019, I actually had a bit of a depressing story, I suppose, or definitely depressing story. I was suffering from depression, and I unfortunately attempted to take my own life. I was at the end of the road, didn't see a clear path to get out of there, and that's just how it went, unfortunately. But obviously, very luckily, I survived, and from that, gained an immense amount of perspective. Obviously, it took some time to kind of work through some things and change my life completely. But yeah, down the line, I've had a chance to be able to use that dark time in my life to educate and help other people who might be heading down that way or see some signs in some people they care about. Just trying to steer people away from that road, that show them that there is so much more in this world, and that no matter how far or how done you think you are, it can always come good eventually. And I'm only 3 years down the line, so it's pretty cool little journey that I've been on for such a dark time to start it all off.
Absolutely, and I think something that rings true is your values and how you noticed that there was an opportunity for yourself, but that you can see that there's a likeness in a lot of other people, and that's something to get onto quickly, and that's, I suppose, what RUOK Day is all about. But your journey in a more of a physical sense, what is the sort of significance behind the big ride from Adelaide to Melbourne? Is it simply because you're a South Australian boy and Melbourne's a good location to end at, or was there sort of a significance behind that?
I actually moved to Melbourne just after my life kind of fell apart. It was kind of like a fresh start for me there. I only ended up living there for a year because of all the lockdowns and everything that happened. I ended up moving home and changing industries from running hotels into running gyms. But yeah, it was kind of just I've got family and friends there. It's not something you want to do, riding 1,100 kilometers in a week and then having no one at the other end either. So basically riding from where I live now to where I used to live, where my family and friends are as well. It had something sweet at the end of the rainbow, really, for me.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense now. Sort of go from one home base to another home base, and then all the travel in the middle. What made you approach Knobby regarding this whole venture you wanted to do, and made you reach out to us?
Yeah, I just think there's something obviously special about obviously how you guys operate, not just more on a supportive local level. You see you guys collaborating with a lot of local businesses around in different states. I've seen a few people actually share it a few times when you guys did something with the Pirate Life Brewery here in Adelaide. And actually my partner worked there at the time at the Pirate Life Brewery, and she actually recommended reaching out to you guys to get involved. She said that she met a few of the guys from Knobby when they came down to the brewery, and she reckons that you guys would be all about it. So it was a very quick response as well. So it was really cool, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we were stoked because stuff like this, it's cool. It's cool when you see people like yourself taking adversity and turning it into something fun and something that's worthwhile that people can latch onto. And from our perspective as well, it's a cool opportunity to also give you a bit of a favor and help you out, because obviously, without being too candid, on that ride, there's not going to be a lot of washing being done, and having a fresh pair of undies and socks and stuff for your ride. I know we've sent you a few different pairs and designs. What would be your favourite that we've thrown your way for your ride, so that you can keep yourself cool and comfy, so to speak?
Yeah, I thought you might ask that question, so I actually had them ready for this moment. The water
Excellent.
gathering one is my favourite. It's just such a cool design. Yeah, and the matching socks that go with them. So yeah, they just stood out from the pile to me. But yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing that, seeing parts of that along your ride. Back to you. What is the goal? What is sort of your goal, sort of for the ride and beyond the ride with OK Day, and just for your own sort of personal growth? Where do you want to end up? What's your ambition?
Yeah, I guess so. Over the past 3 years, it's the whole mental health journey and suicide story, I guess, to kind of help those around me in suicide prevention by speaking about my story with it and how normal it can be. For me, it's not something I have a short term goal with. It's something that I want to keep doing. Not so much in the physical sense, like riding to Melbourne or like increasing it each year. This is my third physical thing, but I think after this one, it's probably where I have to draw the line with the physical challenges. But continuing to normalize this sort of stuff and just showing people in, I guess, the widest way I possibly can by reaching out to people from all different industries, different companies, and everything, that we need to collectively change this space. So when I first set out to do this, it was talk about it. Obviously, it helped me heal a little bit myself, talking about what I'd gone through publicly. But then I got to a point where it was no longer about that. It was about trying to spread it as far as I could and make as big an impact as I could. I actually have a 3.5-year-old son, and a lot of I guess, my struggles with this whole thing was one day he's going to learn about what I went through, and obviously it's not something as such to be ashamed about, but it's something that I've been nervous about him hearing about one day, and maybe thinking that like what's wrong with him or whatever. I want to show him that no matter how down and out you are, that you can always turn around your life and also help people in the process. So rather than him being looking at me thinking like, oh, something's wrong with him, thinking like, how great is my dad? I know it sounds selfish, but to me, it's like I want to make my son proud. I don't want to sit back and let him think that like I lost control. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's a very amicable thing that, especially for a young man growing up, to have a supportive figure like yourself that can be like, hey, yeah, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and not only is it never the end of the road, it's also not strange or one of a kind if you do find that your path isn't always the sunshine that perhaps you thought it might be. That's okay, because you're in the majority, you're not in the minority, and to know that you're well supported, and to come from a household like yours now that would be very supportive of that, that's very amicable. I totally understand that. Where can the people find you and support your message and your movement for this ride and just for future things?
Yeah. So everything I do like publicly and is purely through my social media. So on my Instagram, it's just _James Alexander. Everything through my links are all there. There's RUOK link for the event called A Ride for Change. But generally speaking, everything I do, my updates on the ride, it'll be posted on there every day through my own grid. I'm trying to streamline it as much as possible so there's not 4 different things happening. But yeah, that's basically my avenue. So through my social media.
Awesome. Well, from everyone here at Knobby, we wish you the very best, and we look forward to getting together with you digitally over your ride and seeing the journey and making sure that well ahead of the day, being that it's not just one day, as you said, we get that conversation and everyone continues that conversation.
Absolutely. I genuinely am so grateful for your support, you and obviously the company that you work for. It's huge.
I appreciate you sharing your story with us, and good luck on the ride and the mission, and I hope that every pair you choose over the 7 days, you keep it nice and clean, keep it nice and comfy, and we look forward to hearing how they go after 7 days on a pushy.
Legendary. Thanks, man.